Okay, everybody, welcome to my live stream, man. We're at the Minigame Part 2, and I am in my bed right now. I will show the camera just now, but right now. I have to go for it. I just want to die. I don't want to die. Don't make me die. Really? Chill. Finally, G. Roblox power. Now, I just want to think of a little Jake Ryan. He's the worst YouTuber ever. He just stuck by here excited. He probably just wants the people to have all the friends to come at him. When now looking, he's just big. You see, just I don't want Jake Ryan. Because he says that he's the best and he's the worst. And yeah, it's like stinks. I haven't seen, not even a single live stream from Jake Ryan yet. And he's the best. I almost ran. Honestly, my phone's so I almost ran. Let's see, no comments, no people looking. This is gonna go down. I almost ran. Okay. Look at this. I'm looking for 9 people. Congratulations! We're going on to vacation. Why did you guys think it was that one? We're dead. Oh my god. And then my sister become. Yep. My wife. Oh, Daddy dies. I'm gonna go see on the TV. Have you guys seen that on TV? I got files, stuff, and I have TV on it. Yeah, so. Yeah, so. Oh, God. Oh God, I'm so sorry that happened. Oh my God, I didn't know it turned off. Slap. Yep, that's how I imagine my death. Me dying. That's how I imagine my death. I imagine my death, me dying. Oh crap, not again. Not again. Nah. I always turn off once. That's how I imagine my death. God, not again. I gotta move this around. It's gonna be hard. I want to do my TV. Yeah. I want a live stream. Hold on. It's gonna be hard. Okay, I'm not gonna put on TV yet. There we go. Now I'm on level 5. Not again. I'm gonna I could try not to. There we go. Okay, so yeah, now I'm gonna also live stream while I'm doing it. No, not this. Don't even think about it. I'm live right now. Okay, see, I'm live right now. We won! Oh, wow, I'm awesome! Too loud. TV's too loud. We won! Not again! I still can't believe we won. How about we die? Yeah, me. That's it. Bye now. Okay. We're done. Yeah. We all won. We all freaking won. I didn't even have to move for that one. Oh, I lost this one. No, leave me alone with this one. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Let's do this thing. This is me, right here. I'm on level 5. Toxic reaction. Oh, I hate this one so much. Toxic reaction. I'm gonna die real soon. I die. Galaxy. I hate this one. Yeah, one view too. That's why I hate it. That's why no, I only have one view too. One view. That's why I hate it. Oh crap. This is the worst. Didn't see me, right? Shoot, he saw me. He saw me. Jump into danger. Danger. Crap. No, I can't be near anybody. I'll be lastly alive. That means I cannot. Oh crap. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. I got 3 people behind me. Crap. No, that was so close. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah, but we all ran out of time. Oh crap. No, this is the worst! Dehydration. I hate this one. You don't even know how much I hate this one. I gotta wait till the final I always get this one wrong. Drink me, drink that there's no tomorrow. Okay, I'm done now. See, I already survived. Oh yeah, good. Drink it up. Drink like there's no tomorrow. I'm a fighter. kill them. Yeah, I will probably need some help with this. Yeah, I can kill all. Are you crazy? But The Walking Dead has been aborted. Okay, I don't want to play this game anymore, so this camera might be skippy, but we have to do it. I don't know what to say. We have to do the game. Oh crap, look at the camera all skibby. The camera's so skibby, I hate it. See how skibby the camera is? The camera's all skibby. The camera's all skibby, I hate it. See how skibby the camera is? Let's see, let's look. I don't know what's that obby? But the camera's so skibby. I don't know. What's that obby? But the camera's so skibby. I don't know. What's that obby? Skip the McDonald's, Aubrey. Okay. Skip the McDonald's, Aubrey. Okay. Skip. Okay, there we go. That's better. What have you done, McDonald's? What? Ah! Why did I pick obbies when I knew I was gonna die every time I knew I was gonna die? Okay, we're not gonna play obbies anymore. Well, let's actually play Geometry Dash. Yeah, let's try Geometry Dash. That's good. Okay, so we're playing Geometry Dash. And I'm actually on everyone's robot. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to beat it. Like boom, boom. What? What? I got it. Got it. Oh yeah. Couldn't make it. I couldn't make it until I got lowered up because I couldn't hear it. My TV's on with the light thing, so I'm looking at me like. That's not working either. So let's try something else. I don't really know what to do. I only have friends of Freddy's. Oh my god, this is gonna be so confusing. Okay, let's watch YouTube. I don't know what happened. Oh.
Hey, how's it going, bros? My name is Peter Pat.
I
moved office again, as you can see, for another time. I'm in this new space. It's pretty cool. It's my own space. It's definitely my place. You picked the wrong house. Hey, how's it going, bros? My name is Peter Pat. I moved office again, as you can see, for another time. I'm in this new space. It's pretty cool. It's my own space. It's definitely my place. You picked the wrong house.
No, wait, what happened?
I'm in this new space. It's pretty cool. It's my own space.
Okay, let's watch something else. Oh, Brewster. I love Brewster. Because Brewster animations. Congratulations. Welcome to my brother Brewster-ations. But that's not the reactions. Oh my god, I already got in the room. Look.
Yeah, how's it going?
Look what happened in the room. No, come on, I'm going to show you. It's the most beautiful and precious thing ever. Okay, congratulations. I want to travel to vacation. Oh, I am live, Michaela. So that's me. And I'm live. I'm live. I am live, Michaela. So that's me. And I'm live. Bye-bye. So now I'm gonna go to my place. That secret place is the bathroom, which is what I usually go in my room, but no. I want to play some Fortnite too, but no. I want to do everything, but no. Crap. So yeah. Now we go watch Brewster. And Brewster is a person curses a lot. Now, Brewster has some pretty good ones, but my favorite one was Sock Busters. Let's watch that. So,
alright, Christmas, 1997. Think back at what the hell you were doing back then. Maybe you were kicking your dad's ass in a game of Twisted Metal on the PlayStation. Or maybe you were watching an episode of Hey Arnold with a bunch of Beanie Babies. I'll tell you what I was doing. I was unwrapping the best present I ever got for Christmas. Sock Boppers! Sock Boppers! Now you might know them as Soccer Boppers or something else, but I knew them as Sock Boppers. And if you don't know what Sock Boppers are, don't feel bad, okay? That just means you had real toys to play with when you were a kid. You'd have to blow them up first, and then you put your hands in them. Go find something to beat the shit out of. Didn't really matter what it was, a pet cat, a homeless guy, your little brother while he's trying to take a shit in the bathroom. Stop, I'm pooping! Stop it, I'm trying to poop! Now in the commercials, they'd always depict the kids just hitting each other, laughing, having a good time. They're having fun, but it was a little different in reality. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? And every fight that you had was the same. It started off pretty simple, everybody's having fun, and then shit would get pretty real in about 45 seconds. You'd get one punch to the face, and it was just a little bit too hard for your liking. Ow, you son of a bitch! Hey, what the hell are you kids doing in there? Oh, we're just bopping each other's brains out in here. Oh, alright. Wait, what? All your dumbass relatives are coming over trying to figure out what the hell they are. Hey, you kids playing your bopper socks? Shut up, Uncle Rick, you're drunk. Oh, come on, let me see one of them bocker sockers. I'm gonna knock you in the head. God damn it, Rick, be easy with those boys. No wonder why your wife divorced you. And I can remember on the side of the box it would say, more fun than a pillow fight. Yeah, okay, sure, I can see that, and it's a little bit safer than a broken bottle knife fight, sure. My dad's acting like it's a spectator sport.
Okay, so we don't want to watch that.
Brewster.com. The last thing I wanted as a kid was a big-ass pair of glasses hanging off my face. Which is unfortunate when you just so happen to be blind as shit as a kid. I was so blind, you know the big E on the charts? Yeah, I couldn't even see that bitch. Be playing a Little League as a kid, be all the way out in the outfield, couldn't see shit. Be like, hey guys, are we still playing? In school was even worse. The teacher would be like, do all these math problems on the chalkboard. And of course, I'm sitting 100,000 miles away, practically in the fucking hallway. I'm like, there's a chalkboard in here? My parents would take me to the doctor and they'd be like, our kid keeps running into walls. We think he's autistic? And the doctor's like, well, he's not autistic. He just can't fucking see anything. Why doesn't he have glasses yet? I was like, shut your mouth, old man. I don't want any of these goddamn glasses. When they test our vision in school, I would just wait, have a bunch of kids go ahead of me, and just memorize what they would say when they'd read off the chart. Next person. EZYXWVUT. Boom. You can all suck it. I can see just fine. The chart's over there. So I go to the shitty-ass eye. Next person. EZYXWVUT. Boom. You can all suck it. I can see just fine. The chart's over there. So I go to the shitty-ass eye doctor, and if you've never been to the eye doctor before, then you don't know what hell on earth is. And one of the first tests they put you through is for glaucoma. And the doctor's like, just put your chin up on this machine here, and we're going to shoot a little puff of air into your eyeball. Okay, you'll barely feel anything. Alright, let's do the next eye. Then they throw their torture chamber device on your head, start making you read stuff. Alright, tell me what you see. Like, well, I still don't fucking see anything, but I feel obligated to at least make a guess, like I'm playing some shitty carnival game. Like they're gonna give me an oversized stuffed gorilla if I get them all right. I'm like, M, a lowercase q, the @ symbol, a Goomba from Super Mario World. How am I doing, Doc? You got them all. No, not even close. I was clearly blind as shit. So they put me out in the waiting room, and I'm looking at all these frames on the wall, and I'm thinking, well, if I gotta wear glasses, I might as well go for the Jeff Goldblum look, because he was fly as shit. And the doctor's like, easy there, Sonny. Your family's insurance only covers these frames. And he points to one lonely shelf. It's filled with the most hideous glasses you've ever seen in your life. Ones with double bridge frames in there, so your glasses won't break when the kids throw rocks at you. Glasses that would be bigger than kids' book bags at school. I can't feel my nose. Well, that's because your fucking glasses are 14 pounds. I'm like, oh, thanks a lot, Doc. I said Jeff Goldblum, not fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not wearing these glasses, Mom and Dad. I'm gonna get kicked in the balls. Zachary gets kicked in the balls every day at school. Fuck that. I'll keep catching baseballs with my face before that happens. My parents are over there trying to make me feel better. Well, you definitely look a lot smarter. No, I look like I'm gonna get my ass beat at school is what I look like, Mom. But I did wear them outside of school because it was actually pretty nice to see things every once in a while. Everything didn't look like Nintendo 64 graphics anymore. Everything's so vivid. I didn't even recognize my friends the first time I seen them again. Man, you guys look different. We're in the car ride home. I'm looking out the window, reading everything that I can. That sign says stop. That sign says speed limit 25. That sign says shut the fuck up. Okay, we get it. You can see again, telescope eyes. It's no big deal. Why don't you go read yourself a book?
Telescope eyes.
With your Judge Judy looking ass.
Usually, I don't know. Have you? So if you've never seen the Islands Out, John, I'm waiting for you to come home.
Mr. James, on Saturday morning at 10:03 a.m., you were observed coloring a picture of a dinosaur. Is that true? Yeah. Can we go to recess? Even though your mom had repeatedly asked you to clean up your toys, you disobeyed her and colored anyway?
Yeah.
I plead the fifth. Your Honor, I have no further questions. James, I hereby sentence you to 15 minutes in the timeout corner. I'm not going back to timeout! I'm no scientist, but I think moms play a very important role in society. Without moms, who would drive us to soccer practice? Who else would tell us that it's not okay to eat cupcakes for breakfast? And who else would point at construction workers and say, that's why you need to get a college education, James? Oh, and I guess they also give birth to you and take care of you, but like, anyone could do that. Now, before I talk about how I was raised, I just want to give out this disclaimer that my mom is a great mom. She loves me, at least she used to. If you asked me when I was 15 if my mom was a good mom, 15-year-old me would have said, no. Okay, but like, when I was little, I'd be talking with my friends, and we would be talking about our parents, and they would say stuff like, yeah, my mom lets me stay up till midnight, and she lets me play really graphic and vulgar video games. Yeah, my mom doesn't care if I wear clothes with skulls on them, and she lets me eat an entire tub of ice cream for dinner. My mom lets me play with knives. And I used to think that their moms were so much cooler for letting my friends have that much fun. But now, as an adult, I realize the sad truth, that these kids' moms weren't cooler, they just cared about them less. I'm not saying every mom out there is perfect, but a mom who takes the time to make a responsible member of society is pretty high up on the good mom list. Anyways, I love you, Mom, and now I'll immortalize and monetize some of that love. When I was younger and still in need of adult supervision, my mom would take me and my twin sister out to run errands with her. And as you would expect, we were rowdy and wanted to do our own thing. But my mom was prepared for this. She would bring 2 plastic baggies filled with 10 M&Ms, and every time my sister or I misbehaved, she would eat an M&M right in front of us. And she made sure we saw her eat our M&Ms. She didn't give us a warning either. If we did anything remotely bad, she would say, hey, look at me. And I think that parenting technique is the psychological reason that M&Ms are my favorite candy bar. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. Something me and my sister really liked doing was hiding in those circular racks of clothes that they have set up in department stores. Being in the middle of one of those racks is such a surreal experience. I totally recommend it. But my mom didn't like it when we had fun, so she had to reach her arm in and try and grab us. Do you need any help? Oh, no, I'm just trying to get something in the back. There's a really nice belt that would be great for spanking my misbehaving children! I was spanked as a kid. Nothing too bad. I probably deserved it anyway. I don't remember any specific actions I did that earned a spanking, but I do remember outrunning my mom a lot. Another thing my mom did when I was very little was sometimes when she was washing her hands, she would turn to me and go, achoo, and flick water in my face. It really bothered me, but I never spoke out about it. And one day I just couldn't handle it anymore and I started crying. Why are you crying? But I was too sad to articulate how I was really feeling. If you ask her about this today, she'll say that she doesn't remember doing that sneeze gag ever, but I remember it vividly. So to get back at her, I put a rubber band around the dish sprayer, so when you turn on the sink, it would spray water at you. Come to think of it, I do remember one reason I was spanked. Every time one of my siblings insulted another sibling or told them to shut up, we would have to pay them 50 cents. This resulted in a really weird dynamic when it came to insults. We would get excited when someone called us a name. Mom, who called me a butthole? That's 50 cents. Woo! I'm rich! But sometimes us kids would just be messing around with each other and we didn't really mean the insults. So we would feel bad taking someone else's 50 cents. Like someone would say, hey James, what's 6 plus 6? And I would say, 9, idiot. And my mom would hear me and say, James, that's 50 cents. And my sister would feel bad, so she would insult me back and say, James, you're an unpleasant person. Aw, swear words cost you $5. That's why I don't swear in videos. But now I can afford it. So, you, Mom. You piece of My mom never washed our mouths out with soap. She wasn't that kind of person, but she did threaten to if we swore. And one time after I said a pretty naughty word, penis, she said, if you don't behave, I'm going to get the soap. And I said, I don't care, soap tastes good. All right, you big dingus, shove this in your mouth. You won't do it, no balls. So I bit into it and immediately regretted it. Now people are eating soap for views. So I guess we never grow up. Did anyone else's parents put a password on the family computer? Because my parents did, and I didn't know we were the only family that did that. We had a rule in the house that we were only allowed to be on the family computer for however long we read a book for. But luckily, I would just read a book for 15 minutes, get my mom to type in the password, and then she would just forget that I was on the computer and let me stay on for hours. And I played a lot of Neopets and RuneScape. Also, I wasn't allowed to have a TV or a computer in my room because then I would have easy access to inappropriate animes. When I was little, cell phones were a thing, but my mom didn't let me have one, so I had to talk to all my friends over a landline. I hope I don't have to explain what that is, because that would make me feel really old, and I'm supposed to be in the prime of my life. But basically it meant if I was upstairs in my room talking to a friend, my mom could grab a phone downstairs in the kitchen and just join in our conversation completely uninvited. Didn't matter who I was talking to, I'd be having a conversation like this. I think the reason I internalize and hide away all my problems is because of how invasive my mom is in my personal life.
James, get off the phone and do the dishes.
Mom, I'm on the phone!
Wow, I can't believe you said that to the person who gave birth to you. So what are you two losers talking about?
Luckily, I would almost never be talking to a girl. So at least that didn't happen. This other time, my mom was giving me and my sister a ride to school, and on the radio, she was listening to the worst subgenre of rock music. Christian rock? Just kidding, you can like whatever you want. Anyway, we were pulling up to the school and I told my mom to turn the music down. What? Why? Because I don't want people to think I
love the animation.
Christian rock?
The animation is good.
Anyway, we were pulling up to the school and I told my mom to turn the music down. What? Why? Because I don't want people to think I listen to this, Mom. You see, I was in junior high, so I cared a lot about what other people cared about. So she turned the music down. But as we stepped out of the car, she turned the volume all the way back up and blasted the music for everyone to hear. Looking back at the situation, I think that's pretty hilarious. GG, Mom. These aren't all the times my mom embarrassed me, but those are all the ones I'm going to include in this video. I didn't even mention the time when I was 4 when my twin sister wanted to do ballet lessons, but she didn't want to do them alone, so my mom signed me up for lessons too. But that's a story for another video. And that video will be titled, Top 10 Reasons I'm Gay. That was a joke, Mom. Love you, Mom. You made me like this. And there you have it, everyone. That was my... Hey, kids, do you want some candy? Yeah! No! I'm sort of stealing this idea from Jaden Animations. Wait, no, that's not right. I'm not stealing it. I'm plagiarizing it. Jaden did a video talking about random thoughts she had, and you should all go watch it. And I thought, hey, I think randomly sometimes. So Jaden, is it alright if I make a video about my random thoughts? I hope you say yes, because I just did. What?
Oh, this is the video what James to the presentation with the hamster. Oh, the hamster.
All right, Adam, show me the movies. Don't make me this baby in a corner.
I'll
pre-order what she's having.
You die by me. Oh, sorry, you have to watch
Hey, just a heads up, don't get too attached to any of the hamsters mentioned in this video, because they're all dead. And I would say that no hamsters were harmed in the making of this video. Well, I mean, no hamsters were harmed when I made this video. They're all still dead. But some hamsters, they got harmed. Just keep watching. If there's anything I've learned that the internet just loves is stupid drama and cute animals. So I'm going to talk about all the cute hamsters that I've enslaved. Our family enslaved quite a lot. It was my twin sister who really wanted a pet hamster and bugged my mom to get one. And my mom, being super nice, bought her the cage, and we bought everything else, including a little black hamster. We named him Squeaks. And he liked to do this really cute thing where he put all of his food in his hamster wheel, and it was made of plastic so he could do that. And then late at night he would just run in it, and it would sound like... It was like a more annoying maraca. I actually made a comic on paper inspired by this hamster. Wow, you got a hamster? Yeah, but he doesn't do much. Well, yeah, this type of hamster is nocturnal. Really? That means I'll hardly notice him. And then at night, he's trying to sleep, but the hamster is loud, and that's keeping him awake. And the joke is that he said he'd hardly notice him, and he's noticing him. It's not that funny. And I need to tell you about a dog that we have named Georgie. And actually, a little fun fact about Georgie. She was born on Election Day of 2004, which is a much cooler holiday to have a birthday on. It only comes once every 4 years. It's like leap year. It's more rare. So since George W. Bush won the 2004 election, we named our dog Georgie after him. Aww. And that also means that her 12th birthday was on the 2nd. I definitely won't be able to get this video out by that time, but still, happy birthday to you. Yay! So Georgie can get the birthday, because it's her birthday, and Poppy can get the girl, because she's the girl. Do you like it? Wonder if this tastes good. Oh. This is a huge waste of money. Anyway, back to rodents. This dog just loved to murder these animals. Well, I don't know if murder's the right word. No, murder's the right word. You have to understand that Georgie is a West Highland Terrier, and that breed is known for hunting small animals. So having Georgie and a hamster in the same house doesn't mix well. We had this little plastic hamster ball that we put Squeaks in sometimes. The first time we put Squeaks into his plastic ball, my older brother bowled him like a bowling ball. Peanut Otsumi. I was vegan for a week. And Georgie thought it was a treat just for her. A treat with a hard outer shell and a juicy middle. She would go straight up rabid wolf on that hamster ball. We didn't put Squeaks inside his hamster ball anymore after that. But there's even more to say about this hamster. One day, me and my sister came home from school and Squeaks was just gone. He escaped. Everyone check your pockets! We looked everywhere and we couldn't find him. We had to keep a close eye on Georgie at all times. My sister put up missing posters around the house. I don't know if those helped. We made these traps out of Duplo. Did anyone else's parents get them Duplo instead of Legos? No? Only my parents were that lame? Alright, we built this box thing out of Duplo, and we made these stairs going up to the top of the box, and we put lettuce on each step, and the plan was that the hamster would walk up the stairs and fall in the box, because they're stupid, but the traps never worked. And all the hamsters we got in the future that also escaped, we made the same traps, and not once did they ever work. 4 days. Squeaks was missing for 4 days. We found his body inside the wall. He was alive! My dad was sitting on the couch relaxing. It was dead quiet, and he just heard the faintest... Squeaks was inside the wall. We think he got in through our laundry chute. I don't know what I would do if my kid's hamster was inside the wall of my house. Well, kids, now's an important time I teach you about death. My dad ended up cutting 3 holes in the wall and lured Squeaks out with some lettuce. Poor thing, he was probably starving. Hopefully he kept some extra food in his cheeks. So even being tormented by the dog and getting stuck in the wall for 4 days, Squeaks still lived a fulfilling 2 years of life. Hamsters don't have that long a lifespan. We buried him in the backyard. After the Squeaks dusty, we got some more hamsters. Squeaks 2, that was the next one. We thought maybe if we introduced Squeaks 2 to Georgie, then they could be friends and get along. I'll spare you the details of what happened that night. The next one we named Killer because he kept biting us, so get it? Killer? Yeah, he ended up getting killed. Nah, I'm just kidding. He wasn't killed. He lived along and spare you the details of what happened.
Squeaks Dynasty, we got some more hamsters. Squeaks 2, that was the next one. We thought maybe if we introduced Squeaks 2 to Georgie, then they could be friends and get along. I'll spare you the details of what happened that night. The next one we named Killer because he kept biting us, so get it? Killer? Yeah, he ended up getting killed. Nah, I'm just kidding. He wasn't killed. He lived a long and normal hamster life. Squeaks 2 was killed, though. I don't know if you picked up on that. We bought these 3 little hamsters. Seriously, they're the most adorable little things. They look like this. I forgot their names. We'll just call them the 3 amigos. Aw. The lady at the pet store told us that if we bought hamsters from the same litter, they would all get along. She was obviously just trying to sell us more hamsters. Or maybe she didn't have any siblings. But these pros just hated each other. They would never stop fighting. As I was writing the script for this, I thought, well, maybe they were just aggressively playing. So I googled, do hamsters play with each other? Just to be sure, and the first thing that showed up, dwarf hamsters, which is what the 3 amigos were, are quite territorial and will not see former cage mates as old friends. They see them as threatening rivals. So there we go, you really know your hamsters, lady. So we had to get 3 different cages for them. We put them right next to each other, and I swear they still gave each other some death glares. I actually made a video a long time ago about this time I broke one of their cages. I was cleaning it outside, and for whatever reason, I was like, I wonder if I could stand on it. The answer, no, I couldn't. The glass broke and I bled everywhere, and I still have the scar on my foot. And then all the 3 amigos died off, one by one. Sorry, I'm getting really emotional. We also had this other hamster. No, I couldn't. The glass broke and I bled everywhere, and I still have the scar on my foot. And then all the 3 amigos died off, one by one.
What?
Sorry, I'm getting really emotional. We also had this other hamster named Buddy, and I wasn't going to mention him because he just escaped and we never found him. Except as my mom was reading over the script, because she reads over my scripts, thanks Mom, she turned to me and said, "Did we ever tell you what happened to Buddy?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You know how we couldn't find him? Well, we did, but the dog got to him first. This one time I wanted to buy a hamster and I saw some that were on sale, and there was this piece of paper next to the cage that said, 'Please adopt us.' Oh shoot, I'll take one of these puppies." No, not an actual puppy. I meant one of the hamsters. And I named her Pumpkin Seed because she was that tan pumpkin seed color. But then 1 month after I got her, she just died. For no reason. Even though I loved her. She had food, she had water. This wasn't the first time I was taking care of a hamster, okay? All the other ones lived for a couple of years. I was so sad. I totally got gypped. No wonder they were on sale. They were all halfway to death's door. I mean, I only had the hamster for a month. I didn't get that emotionally attached to it. But then later, I got a different hamster that I paid full price for, and I named her Gumball. Unlike all the other hamsters that were technically my sister's, this hamster was all mine. And she didn't have anything traumatic happen to her. She had a good hamster life. I was pretty sad when Gumball died. We lavished these hamsters, okay? We loved them. At least my sister did. She cried when they died and made little gravestones for them. Our mom used to always say, "There's no point in being a skinny hamster." She gave them a lot of treats. So much so that it got to the point that the hamster would come out looking for my mom just by the sound of her voice. All in all, there's about 7 dead hamsters buried in our backyard. Rip in peace, little bros. Oh, Jose, can you see? By the dawn early light of the cloudy winter. Were any of your pet hamsters brutally murdered by your dog? Tell me in the comment box below. Thanks for watching.
No!
Sorry.
I
Today's word of the day is micturate. Did you come here to listen to me talk about juvenile? Today's word of the day is micturate. Did you come here to listen to me talk about juvenile topics and tell bad puns?
What does that mean?
You're in luck. What? You didn't? Aw, that really pisses me off. You all read the title. You know what this video is going to be about. Peeing yourself. James is running out of ideas! In my adult life, I've had so many close calls with not making it to the toilet. I'm surprised I haven't pooped my pants more often. One time when I was in college, I was walking home from campus and I sort of had that feeling that I needed to go. I thought I could make it back to my dorm, but then when I was walking back, I just couldn't hold it, so I started just booking it back home. Apparently running makes it so you poop faster though. But I burst through the front door and I just went straight for the bathrooms, and it was close. Very, very close. But I made it. If the front door was locked, I don't know what I would have done. Another time I had a close call, I was playing Pokemon Go. It was pretty similar to the first story.
No.
Pikachu? More like Pissachu. Never mind. I don't have a clean record. There's been times when I was a kid and I soiled my britches. Before I tell you stories about my childhood, I just wanted to say that according to my mom, I was potty trained very easily. Now, I have no memory of this, but apparently every time me and my twin sister went to the bathroom in the toilet, we got M&Ms. And my twin sister, bless her soul, was having some trouble learning how to do it. So instead, I just shared my M&Ms with her and everyone was happy. Except it's been 20 years and she's still not potty trained. I'm still giving her M&Ms to this day. I've had a couple of accidents happen when I was in elementary school, but only like 2 times though. I promise. The first time I peed my pants in class, I was in the 1st grade. My 1st grade... I've had a couple of accidents happen when I was in elementary school, but only like 2 times though. I promise. The first time I peed my pants in class, I was in the 1st grade. My 1st grade teacher was just a humongous person. Literally, she was pregnant. For the first 9 months of my 1st grade career, I had to deal with this pregnant person, and even as a little tiny 6-year-old, I hated her. Now I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say that we are probably ornery little 6-year-olds, but I wouldn't expect 6-year-olds to be
Look at the little glass
I had to deal with this pregnant person, and even as a little tiny 6-year-old, I hated her. Now I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say that we are probably ornery little 6-year-olds, but I wouldn't expect 6-year-olds to be well behaved. So why would you get a pregnant person who feels sick all the time to be our teacher? Was it because she couldn't afford maternity leave? One day she threw up in a trash can right in front of us, and we all just sat there not really doing or saying anything. I made a video about this a long time ago, but one time my twin sister got injured on a trampoline and she had to be in a wheelchair for a couple of months. That happened while we were in 1st grade. So one time when we were in class, there was a fire drill, and the teacher told my sister that she had to get out of the wheelchair. Now, she could get out of the chair. Her legs worked just fine. It was her back that was injured. But I mean, what if she was actually bound to that wheelchair? Do we not have an escape route for the disabled? Leave the chair behind, it'll only slow you down! What? You need that chair to move around? Well, it's gonna have to burn! But it gets worse. To get out of the school, we had to go up these stairs, and I was helping my sister walk up them, you know, because a doctor told her she shouldn't be walking at all. And my teacher saw this. She knew my sister was in a wheelchair 2 minutes ago, and she said, "Don't help her." You know how when you're a little kid and you think that adults know everything and they're always telling you to do the right thing? That should have been my first clue that, nope. What a female dog. Not just that, a pregnant female dog. So one day I asked the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, and can you guess what she said? She said no. I forget the exact circumstances, but you shouldn't ever tell a 6-year-old that they can't go to the bathroom. Because guess what? They can. And they will. That hand raise, that's not really asking for permission. That's giving you a warning. I raised my hand a second time. Do you remember when you told me I couldn't go to the bathroom? Well, we have a bigger problem now. I wish I knew curse words back then. You know, that kid that was inside my teacher's belly could be watching this right now and have no idea how stupid their mom is. This is why I'm never getting pregnant. The second time I peed myself, I forgot what grade I was in. Hopefully I was still in 1st grade. It definitely wasn't 12th grade. But this time it was at recess. And I didn't know that you could go to the bathroom at recess. I thought the school was locked up. So I had to really go to the bathroom. And I did, and all my classmates thought I peed myself, and I told them, no, I was drinking water, and the water rolled down my face and all congregated in my groin region. Which, if I was going to lie, I should have just said that I spilled water on my pants. No one believed me, except for one person. My twin sister. I knew saving her in that fire drill was a good move. But yeah, everyone else was right. I did micturate myself.
That's all there is to it. A winner.
Guys, let's talk. I'm going to tell you something I thought I would take to my grave. So if we ever meet each other in real life, you're not allowed to make fun of me for this. I, James, was a bedwetter until I was 8 years old. I was good going to the toilet when I was conscious, but being unconscious, I was uncontrollable. If we're counting the total times in my life that I've had an accident, then there's too many to count. There were many days when I would wake up to wet bed sheets, then I'd have to change my sleeping position and try and get some more sleep. The worst part about wetting the bed is that you have no control over it. You were gambling every time you went to sleep. There were some things I would try to help me not wet myself. One thing were these things called good nights. They were pretty much diapers with a bigger kid on the package. Your life hits a low point when you have to wear diapers for a second time. I would hate putting these things on, because
Because they're totally stupid, and I'm 8 years old. I don't need diapers. I literally never slept with them on once. I would take them off every night before I would go to bed. I hated those things. I'd rather pee my pants than wear a diaper. So since I didn't like those, I tried this alarm thing, which I also hated. You put a clamp on your underpants, and you put this thing called an alarm unit right next to your face, and you'd sleep with this contraption of uncomfortableness on you, and if you started to pee, that would trigger the alarm, which would blast a loud noise in your face, and that was supposed to wake you up like, hey, you're peeing! Problem was that every time the alarm went off, I was too tired to remember what was going on. So I would just think, what the heck? I need to get this loud noise away from me. And I would just rip off the alarm and throw it away and go back to sleep without realizing what I was doing. Sort of like what I do now with a real alarm. Then I'd go back to bed, wake up in the morning, and realize, oh, that's why the alarm went off. Then later I got some pills from some doctor. I don't remember what was in them, but every time I had a pill, I wouldn't wet the bed. But then one day I ran out of pills, I still went to bed though, and I woke up with clean sheets. And I never wet the bed again after that. I grew out of it. So if any of you watching right now are bedwetters, there's a pill for that. Drugs. Solves all your problems, baby. I know this video has a weird subject matter, but let's be realistic. It's a part of life. Everyone poops or pees their pants at some point. And if you haven't, well, that just means you have something to look forward to when you're really old. In case... Jeff, you have the board.
Wait.
I'll take random names for 400, Alex. This was James's first career choice before his YouTube channel kicked off. I know this one. What is a male prostitute?
If we hit
okay, that
1
bit's dead
hour
now. Male
and 15
prostitute was never a
minutes,
career
we'll
goal.
go
Well, I
back
mean,
to
it's not completely
Roblox.
off the table. You never know how
Yeah.
YouTube will turn out.
Yeah, we
My dream job was actually a cartoonist, but since me and my parents didn't think I'd be able to make any money drawing pictures, I chose a math teacher as my, I'll settle for this job. I mean, I like math, so I wouldn't have hated being a math teacher, and I'm also probably good at teaching children. I haven't checked though, but how hard can it be? Listen kids, I have 2.7 million subs on YouTube, so if you want a shout out, you'll have to do the homework. And I thought that a teaching job would give me enough free time to doodle cartoons, so being a math teacher would have been perfect. But oh boy, that did not turn out how I expected. If for some reason my channel died and I stopped making YouTube videos, I would probably go back to school and finish my math education major. And then I'd be teaching a class and then one of my students would find out that I used to do YouTube, and then they'd say, Mr. James, are you the odd ones out? The odd ones out? I haven't heard that name in years. You shouldn't... They'd say, Mr. James, are you the odd ones out? The odd ones out? I haven't heard that name in years. You shouldn't smoke in front of children, Mr. James. I just want to point this out. In my peeing video, I drew my first grade teacher like this, and in my Harry the Moth video, I drew my kindergarten teacher like this. Do you have an explanation on why they're drawn so similar? Yeah, I was lazy. Teachers play such an important role for children, and if I'm being honest, I don't think they get paid enough to take their job seriously. A good teacher can make you excited to learn the material and actually teach you, while a bad teacher can not only waste your time and not teach you anything, but also crush your dreams. I took choir in 9th grade. Everyone had to take it, okay? It was a prep school. I'm not weird. And one time while we were singing a song, the teacher said, "Stop. Who's flat?" Then she pointed at a boy and told him, "You, sing." And he sang for a bit. Then she pointed at another boy, "You, sing." Then she went through a couple more, and then she pointed to me and said, "You, sing." And I sung. Stop, James. During the next song, don't sing. Either she had really good hearing, or I was just that terrible at singing. Now, I really hated choir, so if given the choice to sing or not sing, I would choose not every time. But what if I actually wanted to be a singer? And when I sang just then, I was trying my hardest. That would have been soul-crushing. I would have given up on music right then and there. Thankfully, my art teacher was a lot more laid back. She definitely had favorite students, and I wasn't one of them, but she never told anyone not to draw. One time I showed my art teacher my newest comic, which at the time was this one, and without telling her that I was the one who made it, I asked, "What do you think of this art style?" And she said, "Oh, I hate it, but it's fine if you like it. In my classroom, we try to go for realism, but people with that art style can still have successful careers." Made it, I asked, "What do you think of this art style?" And she said, "Oh, I hate it, but it's fine if you like it. In my classroom, we try to go for realism, but people with that art style can still have successful careers."
Again, guys, so I gotta rewind it.
Of this art style. And she said, "Oh, I hate it, but it's fine if you like it. In my classroom, we try to go for realism." But it's fine if you like it. In my classroom, we try to go for real.
style can still have successful careers.
She said she hated it.
Teachers just need to be more supportive with students and teach them in creative ways. That's why I think so many people hate math. You just haven't had a teacher that made you want to learn. You'd pay attention and study for the tests if I was your math teacher, wouldn't you? Don't get me wrong, teaching isn't an easy job. And even the best teacher can't make everyone in their class excited to learn. I mean, I probably could, but there's definitely a difference between a good and bad teacher. I had this French teacher in 9th grade, and she made me really hate French, and by association, the entire country of France. She spoke English on the first day of class, and then only spoke French for the rest of the year. We were in French 1, by the way. I didn't understand anything that was going on. I would just tune her out. I'd be doodling on a piece of paper, and then people would get out their textbooks and start flipping through it, and then I'd think, oh, we're doing this now? I didn't learn anything in that class. Honestly, I barely know any French. This is all the French words that I know. I can count to 10. Ou, deux, trois, carte, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf. Okay, I can only count to 9. And I know that Eiffel Tower is Tour Eiffel, quack is coin, and door is portal. My twin sister, who was in the same class and had the same living conditions as me, turned out a lot different. She learned a lot of French and continued to take classes after 9th grade. So maybe this whole knowledge thing has a lot to do with the student and not the teacher. Nah, it's the teacher's fault. Did anyone else, when you were little, think that your teacher lived at the school? Because I remember one time my kindergarten teacher came to school in her pajamas and told us that she lived at the school. And that made perfect sense. Yeah, this is your home. This is the only place I ever see you, therefore you live here. Man, I wish I could work in my pajamas. When I went to community college, I had a math teacher who was this old grandpa, and on the first day, he told us that he never missed a class in 20 years. But then, the very next day, he didn't show up. Now, in college, teachers not showing up to class is pretty normal. Or at least it was in the colleges I went to. It happened more times than it did in high school, that's for sure. That's something to look forward to, seniors. Every time it does happen, there's always that one kid who will say, you know, there's a rule that if the teacher doesn't show up within the first 15 minutes of class, then you can leave. I don't know if that rule is true, but I'm not going to look it up. Because I like that rule, and I want it to be true. And I don't even go to college anymore, so why does it matter? So teachers not showing up, that's not too abnormal, but since this old guy told us he never missed a day of class in 20 years, we thought he died. But nope, he just missed a day. He showed up the 3rd day. I don't know what his excuse was, because after I saw him, I thought, oh good, he's alive. And then I stopped paying attention, because community college sucks. I'd say that my favorite teacher would be my 11th grade AP US history teacher. I liked him because it was obvious that he liked the material, and he would teach us in a way that was fun and interesting. He was also a more laid-back and generally a funny person. He's the teacher that I want to be. He gave me a compliment once that has always stuck with me. He was telling the class about the AP test, which is the super important open-ended essay test that we took at the end of the year, and if we did well on it, the grade would count for college credit. So like a week before the test, our teacher was preparing us, and he said, guys, don't try and be funny on the AP test. The graders don't have a sense of humor. Except James. James can be funny on the test. Aww, that compliment made me so happy and confident. I don't know how serious my teacher was when he said that, and he probably doesn't even remember saying it, but I really appreciated it. I ended up getting a 3 on the test, which is only partial credit in select colleges, so maybe I'm not funny. That was 11th grade. In 12th, I took all AP classes, but I didn't take any of the AP tests. I was too apathetic. But I turned out fine. Actually, no. My favorite teacher is my 9th grade English teacher who emailed me and said he watches my videos.
Mr. Batman.
Hi, Mr. Batman. Sorry I plagiarized the Berlin Wall essay. I really wanted to talk about my 9th grade poetry teacher. Yes, I took choir, French, and poetry all in 9th grade. That teacher was definitely something. But this video is getting too long, so I'll have to make a part 2.
Well, that's gonna do it for this video. It's me, James, and definitely not his friend Tim Tom recording the end screen, because James, that's me, would never be that lazy. Make sure to go check out the merch store. There's 2 new plushies to check out. There's like this weird orange cat thing and a minimum wage employee who looks like he's just having a blast. Also, make sure to check out my friend Tim Tom's channel, youtube.com/TimTom.
Love that movie.
We hit 9 minutes.
Alright,
That's
Adam,
close.
show me the moon. movies.
Wow, you cool guys go.
For some reason,
I'll be
everybody
right
thinks
back.
butterflies are
So-
better than moths. We make children's books
Bye.
about butterflies. We use them as metaphors of change. You might be an ugly caterpillar now, but soon you'll grow into a beautiful butterfly. We go into fields and frolic around trying to catch them, and some people even have a collection of them. Granted, the people who do collect them do so by impaling the butterflies. But whatever, it's still a compliment. How many other insects can say that they get this much affection? Maybe praying mantises. Where I come from, every time you see a praying mantis, you have to point it out like, whoa, guys, look, a praying mantis! And then you just look at it. Anyway, back to the point. Moths, on the other hand, are like the white trash versions of butterflies. Even though moths and butterflies are practically the same creature, for some reason we give moths a bad rap. We laugh at them for flying into light bulbs. Butterflies would do that too if they want to sleep at night. Moths are so attracted to bright light that they'll follow it even if it kills them. You might think that this sort of behavior makes them stupid, but I like to think that this just shows how dedicated they can be. We also get mad at moths for eating our clothes, but if butterflies like the taste of our clothing, they wouldn't hesitate to chomp down on our laundry. Actually, butterflies probably think that they're too good for your clothing. They only eat the fine things in life, like flowers. You hear that? Butterflies think they're too good for your t-shirts. In Arizona, we have your normal run-of-the-mill moths. You know the type, small, gray. They look like a paper airplane made by someone who didn't know how to make a paper airplane. But we also have a moth called the white-lined sphinx moth. And these moths are like the Godzilla of the moth world. Which, actually, I'm pretty sure there is a giant moth in the Godzilla world. Mothra. This again just shows how much we don't like moths. We turn them into city-destroying monsters. When will the hate end? I'm sure when they filmed Mothra's scenes in the Godzilla movie, they didn't even use any special effects. They just used a normal white-lined sphinx moth. Those things could beat up hummingbirds if they wanted. One night when I was 5 years old, one of these big boys was hanging around at our porch light, cause, you know, moths, they just love themselves some glowing balls of heat. And then when someone opened the door, the moth saw all the other light inside and just flew straight in. More light? This place is absolutely glimmering! Its fate was sealed as soon as it crossed over the threshold. I don't know what the moth did once he was inside our house, but whatever it was, it sure tired him out. Because the next morning, my sister and I found him on the kitchen windowsill just lying there, doing absolutely nothing. He was probably thinking about the outside world and being with his moth brethren, but he'd pretty much given up trying to escape. Because me and my sister just scooped him up and put him into a jar, and he became our new pet. My sister decided to name him Harry. Now, some moths are actually quite hairy, but this moth wasn't hairy at all. So that name didn't make any sense, but we were 5, so it didn't have to. Hey guys, don't get too attached to Harry. We poked holes in the lid, we put leaves and sticks in his jar, which might have been a good idea if he was still a caterpillar, but I don't think moths eat leaves. Do they eat leaves? We probably should have just put in a t-shirt. We thought we were taking good care of him. My mom apparently didn't like Harry. She said, I have a good idea. Why don't you take Harry to your kindergarten class tomorrow and, I don't know, maybe he can be the class pet there. This is back when I thought my mom had good ideas, so we decided to take Harry to school. Because think of how cool you would be as a 5-year-old showing all your classmates the giant moth you captured. Looking back at the situation, having a class pet whose lifespan that won't make it to the end of the school year isn't a smart idea. The teacher probably didn't want to have to come to school one day and explain to a room full of 5-year-olds why the class pet was lying on its back and not moving. So the teacher suggested, what if we release Harry at recess? Now, a lot of kids' movies that have animals in them, the animals usually don't like being captured. The animals want to be free and live out in the wild. Think Finding Nemo, Spirit, Happy Feet, Free Willy. It was common knowledge to every 5-year-old that all the creatures walking on this green earth wanted to live in the wild. So we were more than happy to put Harry back in his home. When it came time for recess, we all walked outside and were excited to be part of the newly instituted Catch and Release Moth program. We were like those people who put beached whales back in the ocean. Except, in this metaphor, the whale was already in the ocean minding its own business, and then 2 dumb kindergartners put it in a plastic baggie and then moved it miles away from its home. It was supposed to be a happy moment seeing Harry get rehabilitated into moth society. But what actually happened was a lot darker. We gathered around the teacher, she opened the jar, but Harry didn't fly out, so then she had to shake Harry out of the jar. We've already established that Harry isn't that smart. Eventually, he finally understood that he was free. The whole sky was waiting above him. He flew upward, wings fluttering, ready to reclaim his moth life. Well, turns out there's a good reason giant moths only come out at night. And that's mostly because of camouflage and the fact that their predators are asleep. Harry had neither of those advantages at our playground in the middle of the day. Not 10 seconds had gone by when a bird from a nearby tree swooped down and grabbed Harry in its beak. Harry was a free moth for a good 10 seconds before his painful, inevitable death. Immediately, the entire kindergarten class began screaming. My sister ran after the bird, demanding that he released Harry. Unfortunately, birds don't listen to those sorts of demands. Am I right, Jaden?
Ari, sit. Ari, roll over. Ari, stay. No. Speak.
So then the teacher had to give us the talk about how nature is a lot scarier than it is in the movies. Basically, the circle of life involves a lot of death. But on the bright side, we totally made that bird's day. He was just sitting in a tree, probably wishing Arizona had more worms, and then boom, free meal. I wonder what I'm going to eat. Whack. For all we know, that could have been the bird's first time eating a moth. I'm sure that bird told all of his bird friends and they totally didn't believe him. Dude, I just caught a moth. Like one of the big ones, yeah. I know they're nocturnal, but it was just flying around in the middle of the day. No, I'm telling the truth. Dude, there were like 30 children who all saw me. Ask any one of them and they'll tell you I caught that moth. I don't remember what happened for the rest of the day during school, but I'm pretty sure we didn't get much done. When we got home, me and my sister tearfully told my mom about how Harry had met his doom. My mom said that she was trying not to cry, but I think she was lying. I don't think she was as emotionally attached to Harry as we were. Harry was only a part of our lives for a couple of hours, but years have passed and me and my sister still talk about Harry. Just randomly in conversation, one of us will ask, "Hey, do you remember Harry?" Yeah. And now a random moth that died 15 years ago will be remembered forever in our hearts. If only Harry was alive to see what he would have become. I want to share with you some pictures I've saved in Harry's scrapbook. Here are Harry's baby pictures. Here's Harry's first apartment. And here's the last thing Harry ever saw. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Do-do-do-do. I don't know the rest of this song, so I'm just gonna stop right now. Hey, what's going on, fellow teens? I'm doing something a little different for this end card. I'm doing this face cam video because I want you to get used to my face and what I look like. Why am I doing that? Because I'm going to VidCon, baby. I'm a featured creator, so if you're going to VidCon, then be on the lookout for this. Also, I changed my channel name recently. I used to be The Odd Ones Out Comic. Now I'm not. Since I changed my name, the plaques that YouTube sent me are wrong now, so I fixed them. I still haven't hung them up yet. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching and wear your... There's no seatbelt.
What a rascal. Oh. What are you doing? Speak.
Where we begin does not define who we will become. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Watch the world premiere trailer.
Hey man, have you ever noticed that we wear the exact same clothes every day?
Back to Roblox.
You know...
Let it go! Let's see what to do now. We have no idea. So yeah, this will be the end of the live stream. Now I'm gonna do one more geometry dash, and I'm gonna complete one geometry dash that I couldn't complete. And after that, we're gonna end the live stream because I have nothing else to live about. We hit 1 hour. Live stream. I hate when ads do this. Jesus Christ. for watching the live stream. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be posting another Fortnite video. If you want that, I got a comment. Crap, not this. I got a comment. Can you join what? It says we did it. We completed Airborne Robots. Airborne Robots. Let's do another one. Yeah. We did it, guys. Kitty Lover Ninja. Congratulations. You are officially part of the Epic Gaming King TV live stream. Our Viking area should be easy because we're a hard one. Alright. Let's do what? Okay. But I still defeated it.
Wow, guys, this game is so intense. Check out this dragon. It looks amazing. Let's hope I have the right champions to defeat him. Alright, we're almost there. Let's use these powerful skills I leveled up. Just a few.
We have completed every into practice mode. Yep. See, 100. Yeah, we just feel everything. Hey guys, thanks for watching the live stream. If you like, please like and subscribe. Our goal for subscribers today is 20, just 20 subscribers. Come on, like and subscribe. Turn on post notification bells so you won't miss not even one single video from me. Not even one. You won't even miss a second from me. And let's show Brave Lion what the fool he is. To think that I won't get that much subscribers. So like and subscribe. So we can show Brave Lion who he will be. Who he just will be. To think that yeah, so we have that covered. Yeah, so we have to have that covered. So yeah, I'll see you in my next Fortnite video. And remember, do not subscribe to Brave Lion. He is an idiot. So let's show Brave Lion now we could put more than 5 subscribers. We can make up to 20 subscribers. We gotta actually beat him. Our goal is to get 20 subscribers in the next 2 months. Our goal is to get 20 subscribers in the next 2 months. Like and subscribe. And yeah, and Brave Lion won't stand a chance. 45 subscribers. Once I hit 50, I want to know who'd be Brave Lion. When we hit 50 subscribers, I'm gonna comment to Brave Lion, know his videos. I'm gonna rename him Coward Lion if we hit 50 subscribers, because he don't know how to YouTube. He don't have the thumbnails. He don't have the effects, the like and subscribe effects. Yeah, I only do that because I know how to do it. And it costs me a lot of money. Unboxing videos, who does unboxing anyways? Right now it's gaming, vlog, and Fortnite. You don't even play Fortnite. So yeah, thanks for watching the live stream. See you in my next live on Fortnite. Goodbye.